Hey, everybody, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. Welcome to Open BXRX. Coming up on today's show, we'll kick off Vitiligo Awareness Month with some vital information around the autoimmune skin condition. A Southern California dermatologist and her patient join us to share their individual experiences in both treating vitiligo and living with it. And then we'll speak to the founder of an organization designed to help entrepreneurs and business experts achieve their goals. Plus, we'll highlight the memoir of a singer and faith leader reflecting on how he came from the poorest place in the U.S. to being amongst the most successful men in the world. And finally, we'll sit down with a hip-hop legend as he reflects on his journey in the music business, highlight upcoming concert performances, and so much more. So sit back, kick off your shoes, and relax your feet. Here we go. We're open. Hey, everybody, I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee. You're watching Open, that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, our first guests are the director of Vitiligo and Pigmentation Institute of Southern California and her patient who lives with vitiligo. Now, they joined the program to shed some light on the autoimmune skin condition that affects more than 1.5 million people in the United States, and to speak about the medical resources that are available to those living with vitiligo. So please welcome to the show, Pearl Grimes and Neil Goetz. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Bob. We're so excited to join you today.
Well, we're happy to have you here to shed some light on it. Neil, I guess Neil Goetz can kick it off. Neil, tell us how you got involved in this. When did you start studying this? When did it all happen for you?
Well, my journey, along with Dr. Grimes, who came on the journey with me, started about 3 years ago. I started to notice white patches under my lips and around the sides of my nose, and eventually to my forehead, just losing their pigmentation and becoming white. And I didn't know what it was. I was frightened. I was down. And I went to the doctor, couldn't really get a diagnosis. Mm-hmm. Several physicians later, I was directed to Dr. Grimes, who was an expert in the field. And she took my hand and said, you have vitiligo, but I can work with you. I can come up with a management plan, and you will get better.
Neil, did you know what it was before it was diagnosed?
Well, I didn't know what it was, but then I thought I knew what it was through my reading and through a physician saying it could be vitiligo, but this office is not really the expert on this subject. You should go see Dr. Grimes.
Yeah. Dr. Grimes, the condition known as vitiligo, what are the health factors that contribute to having vitiligo?
Vitiligo, Dr. Bob, is a classic autoimmune condition where your immune system is responsible for destroying the cells in the skin that produce pigment, the melanocytes. And so when the melanocytes are lost, you get a white patch. And this white patch is a source of major trauma, emotional devastation for patients, given the contrast of the white patch with normal skin. The other issue is, genetics can be involved in that. 30 to 40% of patients will have someone else in the family with vitiligo. And we also know that when you get vitiligo, there's a greater likelihood that you can get other autoimmune conditions. The most common associated autoimmune conditions are thyroid disorders. So Yes, and the condition it's chronic and it can also be very unstable. So it's a source of major emotional trauma devastation for patients. But I will tell you, Dr. Bob, we've made so many exciting new advances in how we approach this condition.
Yeah, Neil Goetz looks great. I mean, what are some of the procedures? What have you done?
We have many new topical products that we can use. We have light sources or what we call phototherapy that we can use for repigmentation as well.
Neil, how have you managed living with vitiligo, and what challenges have you faced thus far?
Well, I'm going to share something with your viewers. I'm a cancer survivor, and somehow this vitiligo diagnosis impacted me more emotionally than my cancer diagnosis, because I would look in the mirror, I couldn't see my cancer, and I knew what to do to cure myself of the cancer. Vitiligo, it was in the mirror every single day, and I'm in the entertainment industry. I'm in the public eye. Sometimes I'm photographed, and I thought, what am I going to have to do? Wear makeup the rest of my life? And going to Dr. Grimes and finding out that there was help really helped my psyche.
Wow. That's deep. To
Dr.
be able to look in the mirror every day and say, hey, I know there's something wrong, but with the cancer, you didn't see it. But they're both
correct,
just as devastating to the person as one another. I think both affected you the same way. Yeah, I think you said one affected you even more because when you looked in the mirror, you can see it.
Yes, one affected me more emotionally. In terms of self-esteem, maybe the other affected me more in thinking of mortality. But in one case with the cancer, my treatment was straightforward. This disease that Dr. Grimes is going to attest to isn't as straightforward.
Dr. Grimes, you were going to say something? I'm sorry.
Well, Dr. Bob, I was simply going to make the comment that given what Neil just shared regarding how the vitiligo was more traumatic in some ways than his cancer, and it's not uncommon to get that response from patients. For cancers or other internal conditions, it's private. They don't have to share it with the world. Whereas when it comes to vitiligo, it is so visible. So it's recognizable by their friends, their peers. And so that recognition by others in a society driven by aesthetics can be very traumatic for patients.
Yeah. But doctor, sometimes you see people doing commercials now with vitiligo. Like it's okay. It shouldn't be a shameful thing.
Well, I don't think vitiligo is a shameful thing, period. However, I think I'm glad you raised that point, because today there's a cohort of patients who engage their vitiligo. They're not interested in treatment. And you do see those individuals in commercials. And as caregivers, clinicians, we're very respectful of those patients. But my response to those individuals is straightforward. You still have an autoimmune condition where you have an increased likelihood of getting other autoimmune disorders. So I think it's very important for those patients to get a physical and get their lab tests on an annual basis. But I think the overwhelming majority of patients that we see are patients who are traumatized by vitiligo, who come in requesting treatment. So that, no doubt, in my experience, is the major group. And as clinicians, caregivers, I think we're more effective than ever in what we offer patients with this condition.
Now, you also have a vitiligo website series, a web series initiative. Why is it so important to share this? Say it again.
I think it's very important that we share information regarding where patients can go for resources, because we want to be able to refer patients to sites where they can find physicians who really do have an expertise in diagnosing and managing vitiligo. Moreover, I think it's important for patients to find support groups. There's nothing like being able to talk and communicate with someone else who has shared a similar journey.
Yeah.
So you can find this information at vitiligo at the website. Thisisvitiligo.com. Many resources there.
Yeah. Now, does the treatment vary from person to person? Does everyone have their own individual treatment or problem with it?
Great question. There's tremendous variability in how we approach vitiligo. Every patient is unique. The progression of the disease can vary from patient to patient. Some patients may be stable for a long period. Other patients go through rapid progression. So we, as caregivers, we do not use a cookie cutter approach. We base treatment on the manifestations and what that patient is experiencing at any given time.
Well, we kicked it off about a week ago, right? Vitiligo Awareness Month. Neil, I guess you can go at this one first. How can we improve upon the awareness on this subject? How can we create the awareness in our communities about vitiligo?
Well, I think a program like this helps. Going to the website helps. Don't hide. Get out of the closet. If you have it, you can talk about it to your friends. You can help other people, which I like to do. If I see somebody that I think has vitiligo, I'll kind of whisper in their ear, I think you have what I have, and I can refer you to my doctor. So I think it's good to just get it out of the closet, and the more people know, the better they're going to feel. As Dr. Grimes says, it's not in your head, it's not vanity, it's not cosmetic, it's a real thing.
Well, you look good, Neil.
Thank you.
You feel better about
Dr.
yourself,
Grimes.
more confidence and everything?
I feel so much better. Just the fact that there was someone out there that would understand that there was a management plan made me feel better. And I feel great 3 years later.
Dr. Pearl E. Grimes, MD, Director, Vitiligo and Pigmentation, Institute of Southern California, and Neil Goetz. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you for sharing that wonderful information.
Thank you, Dr. Bob.
You have a website we can go to experience some more information?
You know, well, as I said, there are many resources on thisisvitiligo.com. It lists other websites where patients can get enormous information regarding vitiligo.
Well, thank you guys so much, and join us again, okay? Share more. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay. We'll take a quick break. I've got more open coming up next.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Thanks for hearing me out, bro.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Even though we didn't grow up together, he's my favorite brother.
Hey, sis.
I'm the baby of the family, and he's the gentle giant.
What you know about Port Georgia?
Man, please, that's a classic.
You know when they say people are a rare breed? Yeah, he's that.
I'm sorry, I'll be back in a few hours.
Don't worry, Shug. You know I'm for you.
I know.
Go get the football.
That was my favorite memory. He was always for ya. This is a true story of me, Bridget Floyd, and this guy, George Perry Floyd Jr., my big brother.
And welcome back. You know, our next guest is an entrepreneur who is helping other entrepreneurs get their start in the business space through an organization called Experts Tribe. So please welcome to the show, Lorene Cowan is in the house. Nice to see you in person. Look,
It
she's here in
is so
person.
good to see you too. Like I wanted to come in. I was like, no, this time I'm coming in. I want to see him in
we're always
person.
over the internet or
It's
Zooming or doing
Zooming
this.
and doing our thing. But here
Yeah.
we are together.
Here we are. For people who don't know, tell us how you got started as an entrepreneur. How did it all start?
I literally started, I think, in elementary school.
Elementary school.
I started in elementary school. I had this thriving business selling. I found out what my student body wanted and needed. They wanted gifts during the holiday season. They wanted candy during recess, and I made sure that I supplied them with said products. The interesting thing about it, my parents had no clue what I was doing. It was just,
she's hustling in school.
I was just hustling in school.
It.
I was a saver, so I kept my my little dollars and my tens, in a safe space.
Did they wonder how you got that money?
They didn't know. They didn't know.
You had the money. You was hiding the money.
They had no clue. Like I was just, I did my little accounting work for the week. I knew how much my inventory cost. I was pretty much on it until one day, my principal found out, I guess through another teacher, like Lorene is running an operation here. It's awesome, and we're proud of her ingenuity. But it's time for her to kind of put the hat up. Yeah. And so my parents came down, and everyone. I can tell that they all wanted to do this with a straight face. But the cat was out the bag. When we got in the car, my parents said to me, I am so proud of you. That was awesome. We need to set up a bank account for you. Yeah. And so that's where it all began.
You had all the money in the house, huh?
All the money in the house. It's so funny years later when I went to college, my dad was like, there was money hidden everywhere in your room. Like, it's ridiculous. So the
room was the safe.
The room was my safe. Thank God. So
that's good. So then you started the Experts Tribe.
Yes, I started the Experts Tribe years later when I realized that there was a void, essentially, in a lot of business owners, whether it was through marketing, whether it's through legal aspects of setting up their business the proper way. Yeah. There was always something that was missing. So I created a platform that allowed people to take classes and get a genuine response time to their questions and answers, as well as being able to take courses that allowed them to understand areas that they were pretty much lacking in understanding. So
you provide all of this information and the classes, or where to go to get the classes?
So the classes are on one platform. And the reason why I even came here today is because we decided to expand a little bit with coaching to courses. And the reason why we created coaching to courses, because so many people, experts that we focus on working with experts, they oftentimes, they want to run straight to courses, right? Because that's more glamorous and that allows you to scale. Yeah. When you do that, you quintessentially leave something out. You don't know who your avatar truly is, what they actually need, and what's going to help them propel their business forward. And so creating a coaching program allows you to have a one-on-one dealing with someone. You are actually their personal coach, right? You're helping them through the process. You're creating frameworks, and that's what I do. Create frameworks for them to take where their person, where their client, where their avatar wants to be, where they are currently, and take them to another place where they want to be. So if you want to open up a restaurant, you have that idea, that concept. That's my idea. I want to open up a restaurant. How do you do that?
You got to get the information as to what to do, what to say, how to be. People want to go straight to the money.
They want to go straight to the money. But imagine if you have someone that is coaching you, giving you the exact steps, the blueprint to get you to that place. So that's what we provide. We provide a foundation, but more than just a foundation. We want you not just to create your business, but we want you to get clients, right? Yeah. And oftentimes people that are coming to us, they don't have 50,000 followers. They don't have 100,000 people on Facebook. Yeah. But what we can do is teach them how to borrow other people's audiences. In a situation like this, you're lending me your audience for the day. Right? If I'm on a podcast, I'm borrowing their audience. Radio, the same thing. And so I've been able to build a business off of other people's audience.
Other people's audience.
That's it.
Let me see. OPA.
Here you go.
OPAs.
OPA.
And then from OPAs to OPM.
To OPM.
Other people's money.
Exactly. So when you're ready to scale, that's where you're going to take it. Oftentimes people want to start with Facebook ads. You're not ready for Facebook ads. No one knows you. You are not someone that people know, love, and trust yet. And so we help you get to a place where people know, love, and trust you. Find an audience that's your audience, because when you're in church and the pastor says something and you're just like, man, that was for me. You want your audience to feel like, man, what that person is saying, what they're selling is for me. It shouldn't even feel like a sales process. It should just feel like an organic relationship that I want to get to know this person further.
Yeah.
And I want to be in a place where I can learn more from them. And so we teach that simple methodology, the tribe methodology, which is essentially that. It's allowing people to understand you, grow with you, but also take the steps that you're giving them and create a business that's going to thrive. And eventually they'll be able to scale.
The tribe mentality or methodology, do you include that one-on-one coaching inside of that?
Yes. It's all within the one-on-one coaching. While we're teaching people the steps, the program to get their person from A to B, because that's essentially what people want to do. They want change.
Yeah.
They want to be able to learn something and implement it into what? Money, right? That's all. At the end of the day, people care about the dollar when it comes to business. And so we allow you to learn the steps, to teach them the right way in order. I don't care what it is. It could be a food truck business. It could be a medi spa.
Yeah.
The steps are the same through and through, right? Your teaching methodology will be the same through and through. And so on top of that, you have this great product. You're now ready to coach. Let's get you some clients. Let's get some butts in the seats.
Now, who can sell your product better than you?
And who can sell your product better than you?
Yeah.
And oftentimes, again, when we jump straight to Facebook and we jump straight to Instagram sales or YouTube, we lose sight of the fact that again, people don't know me. Why would they spend thousands of dollars to work with me?
Yeah.
And so if you start one-on-one, you build rapport, you gain testimonials, that's your walking billboard right there.
So when people call you every day about how do I make money? How do I get started in this? And they want you to take it through. They want you to take them through it from the ground floor all the way to the money.
To the money.
Show me the money.
Right. So where it starts with me, so everyone's different, right? So I work with people that have expertise in something. Yeah. Whether you're a basket weaver, whether you have something going on, you have a skill set, knowledge that someone else wants. You may think it's simple. You're like, oh my God, everyone knows how to do it. No, they don't.
Yeah.
They have no clue what to do what you do. You're the only one that does what you do the way you do it. And so if you're successful at that in your 9 to 5, or you have a business that's proven success, those are the people I essentially work with. I work with the people that have skill sets already. I'm not necessarily giving you, hey, this is a blueprint for a business, online business. No, you actually come to me ready to go.
You're coming to the table with something that you're passionate about.
Exactly. Yes.
Come to me with your passion-driven life, and I'll take you to the next level.
And I'll take you to the next level. Yeah. I mean, for example, for you, like you literally can teach people how to be an effective host, how to get deals, how to get contracts. You can do that. And people pay for that. People pay handsomely for that.
We're going to pay you for it.
I love it. I love it.
Somebody said OPP.
OPP,
Other people's pay.
Other people. Oh, I like that. I like that.
That was FM up in the studio.
I love it.
That's why I chuckled a little while ago.
No, it's good.
It's in my ear.
You know me. I'm full of humor. I'm all about it. I love it. Yeah. Yes.
So that's good. So where do we go from here? Are you teaching any seminars, any classes that people should know about?
So right now I'm focused on one-on-one. So if someone wants, and that doesn't happen often, we decided to open that up right now because again, there were so many people. It was like, I'm doing these courses and I'm not making any money. And I'm like, okay, let's backpedal. Yeah. Why don't you learn how to build your business the right way while someone else pays you?
Yeah.
They're paying you for you to listen to them. And while you're listening to them, you're writing down the notes. Okay, this is what my avatar needs. And when I say avatar, your tribe, your clients, your potential clients. So this is what my avatar needs. This is what they want. This is what they need to be successful. Because sometimes we create a business because we think it's a good idea. No, let your audience tell you what they need, what they want, and what they're willing to pay for.
Yeah. Here's a question. What kinds of changes do you suggest business experts make to increase their profit?
I think providing good service, quality service. I'm going to give you an example. I have people that say, hey, I'm a part of Facebook groups or I'm a part of different platforms where there are other people and it's not working for me. So I said, how do you engage in these groups? And they're like, well, I send them a flyer for my business. Yeah. No, you provide value. Right. When someone asks a question or they pose a question, you engage with them. You're not stealing someone else's post. You're not writing behind them. What you're doing is you're creating an environment where people are like, man, every time I come to this page, she's speaking the truth. And eventually what ends up happening, which happens to me often, people DM you and say, hey, I love what you said about X, Y, and Z. Is there a way I can get more information? And there you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you on Clubhouse?
I am on Clubhouse. Yes. I don't work a lot on Clubhouse. The reason why I'm not on Clubhouse as much as other platforms, because you can't record it as of yet.
Got it.
Right. And so you want something that, I think that's something that they're working on, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it if you're doing it from your studio. Just
right.
hit the audio record button,
But you're Mr. Fancy Pants. So of course you got that. But the average person, Clubhouse, it stops there. Whereas if you're doing something like a program like this or a podcast radio, it tends to stay a little
So what are
longer.
some of the platforms that you're using right now where people can experience what
I
you're
do
talking
speaking
about?
engagements. I'm radio, TV, podcasts. I'm in those Facebook groups with hundreds of thousands of followers. Again, I'm borrowing their audience.
That's right.
I'm not taking away from their audience. I'm not putting my business in front. I'm saying, how can I be of service to you?
Yeah, let me borrow your audience for just a little while.
Exactly. Let me
I'll
just
give it
borrow.
back.
I'm going to give it back.
Yeah.
Give
But
me
I
a
just
good
want
10
them to know
minutes, 15
something.
minutes. I want them to know a little something.
Yeah.
And so people respect that. I noticed that in other groups, even if it's a LinkedIn group, no one minds when you actually have something to give back.
Right.
What they mind is when you just come in and you just try to bulldoze your
see a
way
lot
through.
of that.
and it's actually kind of rude, right? There's
It is,
ways
yeah.
for you to gain client and for you to actually great partnerships. That's something else that I do. I work with other people with their audiences, whether it be their email list, and they work with my email list, and we blast out information about our businesses. That's another way to grow. But there's tons of ways to grow. They just have to reach out to me and I'll let them know. But it's
That's
great simplified approach to it. It's easy, it's breezy. I don't need, like I said in the beginning, thousands of followers. I just need me.
Yeah.
Right? And
So
a
you're
story.
making the money now.
Yeah.
And you're teaching other people how to make the money.
There you go.
You look like you're making the money.
I'm trying. New York bred, there's nothing else you can do.
So there's a lot of people out there that want to make money. I want to increase my funds. I need to get in touch with a person like you.
Right.
And what's the first step that they should take?
The
I know
first-
we went over it before, but what should they do to contact you to get it all started?
Well, thank you for asking. They can go to coachingtocourses.system.io. So that's the site that they can go to and find out more information. We also have the Experts Tribe, of course. That's the main hub. But they can go to coachingtocourses.system.io and take it from there.
And on that site,
And
they'll
that
find
ends
out.
with an E. I'm sorry. System ends with an E. Yeah. They can find out everything that they need. They can jump on a free call with me, learn more, and see if we're actually a good fit. That's another thing. It's important to be a good fit for the person that you want to serve. Sometimes it's not a good fit.
Yeah.
And that's why I always start off with a 3-month program, not a year program. Do I like you? I don't want to jump into marriage before I've dated you a little bit. So people are like, can I do a year with you? And I'm like, let's just see if let's see how dating goes. Let's see how this courtship goes. And then we can take it from there.
So you have the different time. You have programs with just different times on it.
Yes. And it's just specifically for that person. Sometimes people, they would like me to work with their team, and that's something different. But I try to do that one-on-one, because once the leader knows, everyone else will follow.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's good. Do you go to different places of business and do talks?
Yes, I do speaking engagements all over the country. So, and it's pretty much essentially what I'm talking about here: how to borrow audiences, how to create a business with your expertise, take your God-given talent, no matter how big or small, someone's willing to pay. I pay thousands yearly on courses, on coaching, on mastermind. It's important when you want to grow. I mean, you can go to a course that teaches you how to make an extra X amount of dollars. You're like, man, it was so worth it, right? So you have to, feed yourself with the knowledge that you want to expand and grow and hopefully, again, scale your
Who are
business.
some of the people that you look up to as far as motivational speakers and people who are doing the same thing or sort of doing the same thing? I know you have your own niche, but there are other people out there that are making money in different ways that just touch you.
Okay, so I actually do have a person in mind that I think is extraordinary. And he helped me sort of create my methodology. It's actually I believe it's sharfen.com.
Yeah.
He pretty much works with Fortune 1000 business owners and entrepreneurs from all walks of life. And essentially his business model is grounding yourself, not only just for business. And that's something that I teach my clients as well. Have a relationship with your business, your personal relationship with yourself and with others. If those are aligned, If those three things are aligned, your business is set for success, right? Oftentimes we're just so focused on money, but we're not focused on the fact that our life is a sham and we're drinking ourselves to a soup, right? There's other aspects of our life that's declining, but if you can put all three in alignment, your relationship with your family and your friends, your relationship with yourself, do you believe in yourself? That's the first thing is mindset. I have been successful in so many different things, and I've also failed at so many things.
Of course. And that's what gave you the knowledge of what to do next.
But not only that, oftentimes when I failed, it was a mindset situation. I was afraid. Am I willing to put my resource and bet on myself? Do I believe in myself the way that I need to, with the way that I tell other people to believe in themselves? And the answer is now, yes, heck yes, right?
No, that means you're normal.
I'm normal, right?
You're normal.
I'm normal.
You fail, you got to feel that so you can make a move in another direction.
Perfect.
So give us that website one more time. They're going to wrap me up in about 30 seconds.
Okay, coachingtocourses.system.io.
Thank you so much. Lorene Cowan, she's in the house, and she's the founder of the Expert Tribe.
Yes.
Thank
you
so
so much. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I feel like I'm going to make a whole lot of money now.
With your expertise, the sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. We'll do it together.
Limit. Yes, I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Open coming up next.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
Bro, you gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing.
Escúchame, en esta casa, los hombres no lloran.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
Thanks for hearing me out, bro. Appreciate it.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
And welcome back. I'm the Doc Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, and you are watching Open. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Our next guest is a singer, an author, and the founder of the Turtle Nation Productions and Turtle Nation Ministries. He joins us to talk about his memoir, The Boy from the Ditch, reflecting on his journey from poverty to success, the impact of faith and family on his music, and much more. Please welcome to the show, Dennis Turner in the house. Dennis, welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, man, so nice to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yes, yes.
Dennis, you're in the music business. How did it all get started for you?
Oh, man. Well, it started with my mom. My mom was a singer. She did a lot of singing back in Mississippi. They used to call her the Mahalia of the South. And as a little boy, I was the youngest of the family. I was always trying to follow her around to different places while she would sing. She was very good friends with a lot of pastors, and they used to always take her around and let her sing before they preach. And I just fell in love with music then. So that's where it all started. And from there, it just evolved as life moved on, and a lot of ups and downs, and music became the catalyst of, or I should say, the foundation of my healing. When I lost my mom, just different things in life I'm dealing with, music was soothing and therapeutic for me.
Dennis, where are you from?
I was born in a place called Tunica, Mississippi, in a little neighborhood they call Sugar Ditch. Yeah.
Why'd they call it Sugar Ditch?
Well, I want to say that was an oxymoron. They were just being didn't want to say what was really in the ditch, but I have to this day no idea why they decided to call it Sugar Ditch. But that when I left that small county hospital in Tunica, Mississippi, that's what we called home at that point.
Yeah, yeah. So how did your story start? I mean, you got into it, and give us a little bit of the story of what you've been through.
Okay. So my starting point was Tunica, Mississippi, a place called Sugar Ditch. It made national news in 1985 as the poorest place in America. The thing about it is my story actually started before then. I am the youngest of 12. My mom used to say youngest of 15, 12 living, because she lost 2 kids and had a stillborn. But I was her last kid, and she told me all the time, she said, Dennis, you're my blessed child, because I was 42. I was a diabetic. I was really kind of sickly, and your dad was a 68-year-old man. Yeah. And the doctor said, surely you're not going to have this kid. It's probably going to be another miscarriage. But she said she prayed over me in her womb. So once I was born, she said, believe it or not, you were one of my healthiest child. You were the healthiest child that I had. And so that's where my story began. And then we left that county hospital, went back to Sugar Ditch. But I had a lot of ups and downs. Growing up in a place like Tunica, we dealt with a lot of different things. What if it's a broken education system, segregation, racism, just a lot of different moving parts that was going on then. But I kept my faith. My mom taught us one thing, and that was faith in Jesus, and faith. She took us to church, and we held on to that faith, and that thing led me to different places and opened a lot of doors. I met a lot of different people when you deal with the church, and by meeting those people, my eyes was beginning to open about how much life has to offer. And that no matter what we do in life, we can't give up on our dreams and our goal. And that was one thing I had. I had a dream. I had a goal.
And so you put it all in your memoirs.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I laid it out. I really talked about the adverse experiences that I had. What if it was being bullied in high school? Bullied in elementary school. I was 8 years of old. I think I missed the whole 3rd grade because of that. There was a lot of things that happened there. And then my mom getting ill when I was about 13, where we had to move from Tunica to Memphis, Tennessee, for her to have health care. And so dealing with the nuances of moving to a new community, but a low, poor community, which you understand that when you going from, I tell people all the time, country poor and city poor, 2 different things.
Yeah.
2 different things. Both
but
have
you can do it. You're the boy from the ditch. You can handle it. You can handle it.
Sir. Hey, somebody used to tell me, hey, Dennis, you were built for this, man.
Yeah.
And so what I tell people is, it's about never giving up. When I told my first story, I told a story in Tunica. They brought me down to speak to the high school when I wrote the book. And I told the story about the turtle and the rabbit. We all know that story. It was told to us when we were kids. But, the thing about that story is we all know the rabbit is faster than the turtle. That was obvious. But the story to me was never about the race. It was never about who was faster. It was always about a mentality of never giving up. And so even though the turtle he knew that he was slower than the rabbit, his mindset was, I will not quit. Hence you have Turtle Nation.
And how did your faith in the Lord help you through all of what you've been through?
Ooh, man, my faith, the word of God to me, it poured into me when I didn't have a father. I lost my father when I was 3. I didn't have a father to coach me and guide me. Sometimes when I was in high school, I would look at all the guys and their parents would show up to their graduations at different award shows. I would never see my father. But what the word did, it gave me an idea and an understanding of who my heavenly father is. And that gave me a blueprint of how I should live my life. It was definitely painful. I've graduated 3 times and about to do my 4th graduation in the next coming months. I'm about to finish my doctoral degree, and not one of my parents have made. Thank you.
Congratulations.
I have not one parent to see one graduation, but I believe my
they see
faith
it.
in God.
I think they see it.
Well, hey, I believe that one day we will be reunited, and I am going to rejoice and tell them how my faith in God got me over.
I think everybody sees it. Your mother, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you
sir.
know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, sir. I love it. I love it.
So tell us, you're a part of a gospel group, right? And
yes.
You've been out there, you've been singing at different places. What's the next place that you're going to be showing up? Is it going to be anywhere near where we can come and see you?
I have not scheduled a run. The thing about my music is I've been doing multiple things. I am what they call an independent artist, and I have been putting so much focus in on finishing my doctoral degree that I have placed some events on hold. I have a number of family members I just met that were reunited. Some are in Chicago. We were planning an event, and I told them, just can you give me a few months and let me finish up.
Let me graduate. Let me get this doctorate.
yes. But we're still in the Greensboro area. We're going to do some things here in the Greensboro, North Carolina area.
North Carolina, okay. Greensboro.
Yes.
All right, that's not that bad. That's not far. You're in the Kakalakis.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. But we're going to be scheduling a tour in the year coming in 2024. We're going to be doing some things and doing a celebration because I will be finishing school. My first son is going to be finishing high school, and he's really coming up and taking that torch of singing. And so we're going to be doing some touring, and I think we're going to be getting ready to release a single at that point. So we definitely want to stay in contact with you, let you know, because I've been up to the New York area, and we sang over in Queens and did some stuff over in Brooklyn. And so we're looking to come back.
All right. Yeah, there's a lot of places you can come to out this way. And I'm not too far from you. Sometimes I drive on down to South Kakalaki and Columbia, down in that area down there.
Oh, yeah. I know about that. You got to go to Kiki's when you're in Columbia.
All right now. All right. So that's good. So talk about your ministries a little bit,
okay.
Because you can be anywhere in the world and experience your ministry.
Yes. My ministry is 3 phases. One is it's untraditional. One of the things I wanted to do was I want to get, first of all, my testimony out. Let people know that there's people out here and they are depressed. They are down. A lot of young kids from the country, they grow up with low self-esteem, and that really affects them in their life. And I wanted to encourage them. So that's why I wrote my memoir, is to encourage. And not only just in the country areas of this country, but also in the inner city.
Yes.
Sometimes poverty have an adverse effect on individuals where it affects them psychologically, and they begin to believe that they are what their surroundings is. And I'm here to tell you, no, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are smart. You have to just be willing to work and put in the work. Whatever your dreams are, it can be accomplished. Never give up. Mm-hmm. And so that's one part of my ministry. The next part is music. Music soothes. And the songs that I write are written out of pain. They're written out of my experiences. And I believe that we are social beings. We are social creatures. And our job as social beings and social creatures is to connect with people and then have an encouraging word for them. When we do that, iron sharpens iron.
30 seconds. Give me a 30-second prayer. Pray us out.
Yes. Father in heaven, I thank you for this opportunity. Lord, you said that by our testimony, people will be blessed. And we want to just bless the people today by letting them know that whatever they're going through in life, never give up, never quit, and keep the faith, because you will be with them always. Thank you, Lord, for loving us. Continue to uplift us and keep us, we pray. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Look at that. The boy from the ditch, boy. He's out here. The boy from the ditch is out here. Dennis Turner, singer, author,
Thank
songwriter.
you so much. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
I am so grateful.
Welcome. Give us your website before you go.
My website is turtlenationministries.com. You can follow me on Instagram at turtlenation32. We on Facebook, Dennis Turner and the Turtle Nation family, Turtle Nation Ministries on Facebook. But my website, you can see all the things that we've done and some videos, different stuff at turtlenationministries.com.
We appreciate you. The boy from the ditch in the house. Dennis Turner,
Yes, sir.
singer and author. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. We'll take a break. I've got a whole lot more coming up next, right here on Open.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Can you see anything different as a pill? No. You don't know?
Fentanyl is being mixed into everything now. There's only one thing that will save somebody's life. That is naloxone nasal spray.
Fentanyl, it's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
Why would drug dealers put a lethal dose of fentanyl in drugs if they know it's so harmful?
Really just all about the money.
I just didn't realize that one pill could change your whole life.
More kids should know.
And welcome back. I'm the Doc Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. You're watching Open. Thank you for joining us. And our last guest is a legend in the hip-hop community and in Queensbridge, too. Now, he joins us all the way from Los Angeles, California, to speak about his upcoming concerts in the tri-state area this summer and in honor of the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. This brother right here, he's been down. He's been doing it for a long time. We're still playing his records today. So please welcome to the show my brother Eric B. in the house. Eric. Yes, yes.
Bob, how you feeling?
Good, good.
How you feeling, Bob?
Good. I'm
It's always
real
good to see you.
Nice to see you too,
So, Bob,
man.
I started out with you driving the BLS van.
That's
going
right.
from state to state. That's how I found Rakim.
See? I see. People need to know. People need to know.
Yeah.
And we were cutting it up in the projects in the hood, you know.
We had purple jackets with orange writing on the back.
Ah, let me tell you.
WBLS colors.
Yeah, and you know what?
Colors.
We're celebrating 50 years of WBLS next year, 2024. So you know you got to be a part of that. That's real good. So listen, you've come a long way. I remember you pulled up in the hood in the projects with a green Rolls Royce. Is that right?
Yeah, that's my third one.
That was the third one.
It was great. Yeah, the original one was burgundy. And then I got a white one. Then I got a black. Then I got the green.
Is that when you found out?
You know what it was, Bob? I just like the car, the craftsmanship of the car because they put it together by hand.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, as a kid, I always just liked it. You know, when you're into cars as a kid, you really know how they're built or where they come from and all of that stuff. So I always, you know, as a kid, when I get some money, my first car I'm gonna get is a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, and you stayed with it for 3 Rolls Royces, huh?
Stayed with them. You stayed with them. You still got them. Stayed with them for years.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good.
That's an expensive hobby, Bob.
It is. But when you got that, you said, you know what? I have arrived. I made it in this business. I made a mark.
Yes, sir.
So check it out.
Yes,
We're
sir.
celebrating 50 years of hip hop. What does that mean to you in your personal journey with everything that you've accomplished thus far?
I mean, Bob, look where we started at. 35 years. You know, I was a fan for 15 years and 35 years professional. So, you know, look where we started at, Bob. We started it in the projects. We started out, we recorded in the projects. I recorded in the projects of Queensbridge. And, you know, and it took me all over the world. You know, now, 35 years later, I'm on Blue.
Yeah. So You're a part of this 50 years of hip hop, and people are celebrating all over the place. Are you getting a lot of calls?
Man, the phone doesn't stop ringing all night.
That's what's up.
You know, people want to be a part of the celebration all over the world, not just here in the United States. Everybody feels that they have invested something into hip hop. You know, my friends in Paris, Australia, Russia, you know, Germany, all these guys really, you know, they started out going there in 1985, 1986, going to these countries.
Yeah. And that's
so
good. You know what?
They have a vested interest too.
And it's a culture, because I've traveled to France and London and everything, and you see the graffiti that you see there, you see it here in New York too. So it's a culture, it's the dress, it's the music, it's the dance, it's everything. And we're all wrapped up in this hip hop culture.
That, Bob, difference between here, here and being in New York City or being in California, we look at it and be like, oh, man, they don't wrote it on the walls. But in Paris and stuff, they're like, this is great. This is great. You know, we look at it and say, oh, they got us again. We got to get some paint and take it off. But in other countries, they think it's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, for our listeners and viewers, who are some of the people, I mean, when you start out, you got to be looking up to somebody to guide you in the right direction. Who are some of the people that you looked up to inspire you to do the things that you do?
Everybody. It was not just one person. I don't care if we go back, you know, from our original boss, Frankie Crocker.
Yeah.
Frankie Crocker, you know, he was not only just our boss, but he had style and grace and class.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we learned so much from him, you know, and he used to come around my way. He was dating, I think, Willie Mays' daughter, and he used to come around with the Harley Davidson and come through. I was like, this dude is unbelievable. Yeah. And then remember, when he got into trouble, he came back. He rode down 2nd Avenue with a white horse. I'm back. You know what I'm saying? So,
Return of the Mac.
Guess, you know, yeah, exactly. So Frankie Crocker definitely is, you know, high up on the list, and just everybody else that made music, everybody else that were, you know, entertainers or even scholars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just my people doing positive things, you know, really made me look around and say, man, this is great.
Yeah. And I know they always tell you when people are interviewing you, what do you think about hip hop yesterday as opposed, not opposed to, as it compares to today?
I think it's great, man. Everything is not for everybody. You know, I think that the hip hop today is a great conversation at the table. You got to remember, when we came up, we had to talk about now. Talk to our kids. That's a segue to talk about anything. We can argue about who's the greatest. Is it Run DMC, Eric B. and Rakim, or is it, you know, Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj?
Yeah.
So now we have an open conversation and dialogue at the table to be able to talk about any and everything.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
And the beat goes on and on until the break of dawn. Or here we go now. Or here we go. Now you and Eric B. Eric B. and Rakim. You and Rakim are going to be performing somewhere, right? In the tri-state?
We're going to make history. No, out in Jersey at Asbury Park.
Yeah.
Asbury Park, June 13th. We're going to make history, go out to Asbury Park. So one of the sort of the governor is Phil Murphy. He lives next door to him and that. So now I got one up on Phil Murphy. I'm Phil. We playing the Stone Pony. So he's going to come out and hang out with us. He always comes out when we play New Jersey. He comes out and supports us all the time.
Good. I'm going to see if I can jump in there too. I got to see what I'm doing on that date, but I want to be there. Bishop Taylor's going to be down there with you?
Everybody. I mean, all the mayors, Bishop Taylor. Bishop Taylor's going to be there. As a matter of fact, Bishop Taylor's there now.
Oh, okay. He's
there now.
Oh, good. I guess he's straightening everything out, right? Smoothing out the path when you guys get there.
Yeah, but let me tell you, when you get in there and you're going, all the mayors are coming.
Yeah.
It's going to be the who's who in the building, and it's an intimate building. The building acoustically sounds great. We're going to have a great time, Bob. You got to come out.
Yeah, and that's right off the beach, so to speak. Asbury Park.
Yes.
Yeah. Looks like you're moving, man. Look at you.
No, I'm not driving, though, Bob. I'm not driving. You see, I'm not driving.
No, I hear you.
Even though I got the new Cadillac and it drives itself, but I'm not driving.
Yeah, I see the Cadillac emblem back there on that seat.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
moving
good.
Up
That's
like
good.
The Jeffersons, Bob. I'm
Yeah.
moving up.
That's right. So, man, you're looking good. You're doing your thing, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you. And I got your number. We'll keep in touch.
Please. Man, I have to, Bob. Man, we got to go out and have lunch and have dinner, man, and just talk and laugh about old times. Bob, we've been around each other damn near 40 years.
Yeah. That's right. They say hip hop started in the Bronx. I believe that, and everybody says yeah. But we were doing it in Queensbridge Park.
Bob, let me tell you something. Me and Peter Guns argue about this every day. Not every other day, every day. If I go through the Bronx, he says, Eric, just when you say you at the Bronx, just say you at the Mecca. I said, Pete, it's not going to happen. I said, Pete, y'all guys had little guitar speakers. We had real equipment. Out
That's
there
right.
playing.
That's right.
Y'all guys, I said, look at your guys. I said, look at all the pictures. Y'all had guitar speakers. We had real equipment. We had. Am I wrong, Bob? It used to take us hours to unload the speakers.
That's right. Hey, pass me another speaker. 2 stories up.
Yeah. I mean, remember the Disco Twins? They had the Altec Lansing Voice of the Theaters.
Yeah.
The 7-foot tall speakers.
Yeah.
They had them. The Disco Twins. The Disco Twins had they had the Altec Lansing Voice of the Theaters.
And they had the Berthas.
Berthas, and the King Charles. I played with King Charles. They remember Goody and them from Infinity Machine from Queens.
Yeah,
they had a monster.
Yeah,
system.
they had the Sir Vega stuff that I had.
Exactly,
they had all the Vega stuff.
B-36s, the L-48s, and the B-36s.
Look at you. That's what's up.
The Crown amps. Remember, Bob? I started out as an EC, equipment carrier.
Yeah.
So I know all this stuff.
That's right. I still have a lot of that stuff too. I'm looking to put it somewhere. They want me to put it in a museum over here in the Bronx. I know the Twins, they're going to give a Bertha. They're going to put it in that museum.
Wow.
And I have a Sir Vega mixer. It was like one of the not too many people had it.
It comes with the lollipop headphone.
Yeah. So I still have that. They want me to give them that, but I have it in my own little personal museum. Yeah.
You don't see that. You don't see that nowhere.
So listen, man, nice talking to you. We got to do it again. So June 13th,
Stone Pony in New Jersey. Stone Pony in Asbury Park. Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Yeah. And you have a website, or can we follow you on social media?
The real DJ Eric B on Instagram.
There you go. All right. My brother, good talking to you, and I'll see you soon, and we'll do that. We'll break some bread together, all right?
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Thanks again, Bob.
You too. I'll talk to you soon. I'll give you a holler.
All right.
My
brother.
My man Eric B. Him and Rakim, they're going to be doing their thing June 13th over in Asbury Park. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in and checking it all out. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. We want to thank our guests for joining us, you, our viewers, for tuning in and checking it all out. You can follow us on BronxNet TV for continued coverage. Thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. And always remember this, what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice. Let your choice control the chooser. Remember our hosts, Kevin Arlene, Darren Jaime, and Rena Valentin. They got their episodes of Open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. So make sure you keep it tuned right here. We've got you covered like a blanket. Always remember this, what you are is God's gift to you. And remember that whether you say you can, or you can't, either way, you are right. So say you can, and you will. And it's done just like that. It's what you think. I'll see you over 107.5 WBLS. I love you all. Peace.